Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's Kiki, which is a victory for justice, a victory for the victims, a victory for our judicial system, is that the top FBI local official here in Los Angeles has formally recused himself from the Tom Girardi and his law firm fraud investigation. This is big news because, like we already reported, this FBI official has very deep roots and ties to Tom Girardi. It's also even rumored that it might be his love child. Don't forget his mother was Tom Girardi's secretary and also mistress for years. He gave her, hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years. And that money has been, and this was according to the LA Times, that money had been traced back to during the time that he was defrauding his clients. So it was stolen money. And he also paid into the mortgage of the mother and the son, who was the FBI agent's mortgage of the house they currently live in, which is now valued for $1.2 million. But let's get into it. But before we do, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a Kiki is always better with community. Check our description box down below and shop our love collection. So with that, you guys, let's dive right on in. This is according to the Los Angeles Times and the Onion Bulletin. So it says the head of the FBI's Los Angeles field office has formally recused himself from the ongoing federal investigation into fraud and corruption by Tom Girardi and others at his now defunct law firm, an agency spokesperson confirmed Saturday. Side note, Erika Jayne boo boo. I told you, you must be shaking in your boots. You must be shaking in your boots. I don't know why you're windmilling for your diamond on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I would have bounced to the Cayman Islands. I would have been in Dubai. I would have been in Switzerland. I would have been out. But Erika Jayne, keep appealing for legal reasons if you want to. Let's keep going. Donald Alway, the assistant director in charge of the LA office, sought the recusal from the high-profile investigation after the Los Angeles Times and other news outlets reported that his mother, Michelle Alway, was a former girlfriend. They're saying girlfriend, but she was a mistress because he was married. But let's continue. And secretary of Girardi. Public records show that she and her son own a home in Monterey County paid for by the now disgraced legal legend. Laura Miller, a spokeswoman for the LA field office, said in a statement that Donald Elway requested recusal and has not and will not be involved in this or any related FBI matter. Miller noted that Elway, who previously led the FBI's office in Mississippi, began his current role on August 29th, and that the Girardi investigation largely predates his time in the Los Angeles division. Okay, you guys, side note conspiracy theory. Is there a possibility that he chose to transfer from Mississippi to Los Angeles to actually, what's the word I'm looking for, to influence the case? Like, why did he transfer from Mississippi to Los Angeles during the height of the Girardi investigation? Like, don't forget, they had been investigating the CFO who recently got arrested on federal wire fraud charges, right? The CFO just got arrested. So you would think that he would say, hey, you know what? Given the fact that, my mom was his secretary, given the fact that my mom was in a sexual relationship with him, given the fact that the house my mom lives in and that I would be moving into was paid for him, maybe this is not the right time to transfer to LA. That's just a conspiracy theory, that's just everything's alleged, rumored, and opinion based. But it seems a little fishy to me that he would transfer at this particular time. But I think it's really good that he got called out by the LA Times and other outlets, because what was his motivation for switching jurisdictions? If it were me, I would stay away because I wouldn't want the appearance, right, of impropriety. I wouldn't want the appearance of corruption. So ah, that actually gives me more of a pause than comfort. But let's keep going. Donald Alway, a former LA County Sheriff's deputy who joined the FBI in 1996, has not directly responded to questions about his and his mother's relationship to Girardi. Court records show that Michelle Alway was Girardi's secretary in the 1970s. Records in Girardi's second divorce show that through the mid 1990s, after she stopped working at the firm, she continued receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars from the legal legend. Again, side note, people are saying that, Tom Girardi knocked her up and that Donald Alway, who is the top FBI agent, is his son. Girardi purchased the Carmel by the Sea home in 1985, and it was meant to be a residence for Michelle Alway, according to court records. The property was put in the name of another lawyer, then at Girardi's law firm, Richard Crane, according to a lawsuit Girardi later filed against Crane. It was unclear why Girardi involved Crane in the property's purchase. Probably because he was married and he didn't want his wife to know that he was buying home for his secretary slash mistress slash possible love child. I don't know, just to cover up. Girardi paid more than $131,000 toward the mortgage of her home between 1993 and 1998, according to financial records compiled during the lengthy divorce proceedings. See, divorce proceedings. He was married. Records in Monterey County show that Donald Alway currently co-owns the residence with his mother, and the property is valued at more than $1.2 million. Online real estate companies estimate the home is worth close to $3 million. In the period when Michelle Alway was receiving the money, Girardi had already started to misappropriate his client settlement money for his own purposes, i.e., the money he was giving to Michelle Alway, the FBI director's mom, more likely than not, was ill-gotten blood money that he had misappropriated from his clients, the victims. According to court filings by the trustee overseeing the law firm's bankruptcy case, Girardi's mass misappropriation continued through 2020, when his law firm imploded and a federal judge in Chicago publicly referred Girardi for criminal investigation, kicking off the FBI's inquiry. The timing and duration of the relationship between Michael Alway and Girardi is unclear, and she could not be reached for comment. The attorney has been married 3 times, most recently to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erika Jayne. Kimberly Archie, a close friend to the RECUSES family, who had millions of dollars of settlement money stolen from them by Girardi, and an advocate of other victims of Girardi, expressed frustration in the development. He only did it because he got called out, Archie said. How many times are the victims going to get burned and feel like nobody's on their side? Who are we supposed to trust? That's a very good sentiment. I would look into Donald Alway, because what was his motivation from transferring from Mississippi to Los Angeles during the height of Tom Girardi's investigation? Why did you move to LA? Donald, was it to help your dad? Was it to sway the case? Was it to have some, unfair influence? Are you trying to get Erika out? Like, what's going on? What's going on? I. Miller said the investigation into Girardi's firm is led by U.S. Attorney's Office in L.A. and FBI Special Agent in Charge Brian Gihuli. Special Agent in Charge Amir Assay, who oversees counterterrorism in the L.A. office, will serve in Alway's place as Assistant Director in Charge for the purposes of this investigation, I. Miller said. The years-long investigation into Girardi and others affiliated with this law firm has come into further public view in recent weeks. Earlier this month, the first public prosecution was disclosed when federal agents arrested former Girardi and Keys chief financial officer Chris Kamen at an airport in Baltimore. Kamen was charged with wire fraud, and in court, prosecutors described his alleged embezzlement of $10 million from the firm as, quote, a side fraud on a $100 million fraud scheme carried out by multiple people close to the firm. Dun, 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 dun. It was going down. And here is a little clip that also illustrates what happened. So let's watch.
Top FBI official in LA formally recuses himself from investigation into Tom Girardi and his law firm. The head of the FBI's Los Angeles field office has formally recused himself from the ongoing federal investigation into fraud and corruption by Tom Girardi and others at his now-defunct law firm, an agency spokesperson confirmed Saturday.
So, yep, there you have it, you guys. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that I personally think this is a step in the right direction. It's showing that our judicial system is trying to be transparent. It's trying to, weed out the corruption, the undue influence. If I were Erika Jayne, I would be shaking in my boots right now because it's looking like they're not going to let her be protected as she has been, So I think that this is great news. I think it's a step in the right direction. I agree with what the victim advocate said, or the victim lawyer said, that, this guy, Donald Alway, the FBI guy, he only stepped down because he got called out. But if I were internal affairs at the FBI, my question would be, why did Donald Alway transfer to LA in the first place? Was his motivation to help out his dad? Alleged father. Alleged. That to me now would be the bigger question at internal affairs at the FBI. But you guys, I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Do you think that this is just one more step to the takedown of Erika Jayne Girardi? So put it down below. But before you do that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because the key is always better with community. Check out our description box down below and shop our love collection. With that, you guys, bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go!